Today, I want to show you 2 different ways how I like to create really natural looking you but better complexion. When you notice a woman first, not the foundation, powder, or concealer, that's what I mean by you but better. So one way takes a little bit more time, but it gives you more polished, longer lasting result. The other one is much quicker, perfect for whenever you're on the go. So the goal with both routines is exactly the same. You just feel like yourself, but on a really good day. So for the first routine, I am using foundation. This one is from Dior Forever Matte in 1 Neutral, and that's my winter shade. It's too light since I've got a little bit of summer sun, so I could mix in a darker foundation to get the right shade, or I can add a drop of bronzing serum. This one is from Natasha Denona, and it likely deepens the shade, and it also gives my skin a really healthy, soft satin finish. If you notice, I'm using a small amount of foundation and I'm applying with a quite fluffy brush, which allows a more airy, thinner application. This brush is Rose & Ben D2. This is where extra few minutes come in. Foundation does take time to properly blend, set on the skin evenly, so there's quite a bit of tapping back and forth until everything looks smooth and unified. Don't forget the hairline, jaw, neck, because these little details, this is what makes foundation look like skin. Now, before I go in with concealer under my eyes, I put a whisper of color corrector in my inner corners. They're naturally a little bit more hollow, so they tend to be a little bit darker. And this corrector from Givenchy in Peach is super thin, so it won't add too much weight. And I like to use concealer brush, but I could absolutely apply with fingers too. It doesn't make much difference. Most important, I use only a tiny amount, only where the actual shadow is. Another option would be to use a concealer with peachy undertone, which would do the same jobs at the same time and correct and conceal. And I mean, I could absolutely use concealer on its own since my darkness isn't that bad. But it could lean slightly on the cooler side in the areas where I have the darkness, which can look a little bit gray. So that's why I would apply a teeny bit of color corrector there. Okay, now I'm going in with a small amount of concealer. I'm using this creamy one from Dior Forever in 1 Neutral, the same shade as my foundation. And I'm concentrating where I actually need it. I'm applying whatever is left on the brush to soften it through the rest of the under eye, avoiding any buildup that would lead to creasing later, and that would of course enhance my fine lines and would make me look older. I also like to even out my eyelid. That makes me look more fresh, more awake, and overall complexion looks more unified. I like applying with the fluffy concealer brush from the back of my hand because this way I have better control of the amount I use. My goal is the most natural looking result I can get without looking makeup-y. If I wanted fuller coverage, I would apply more product directly onto the skin and I would let it sit a little bit to build coverage before blending. In the end of the day, makeup is makeup. More you apply, more visible it is. So pick your battle, more natural appearance with a little bit of darkness or more coverage, less darkness, but visible makeup. Since these areas under the eyes and lids crease the most, I'm not going to wait around. I'm just going to set them with powder straight away. For my under eyes, I'm using a really finely milled powder designed for under eyes, and this one is from Beauty Drugs. It's infused with hyaluronic acid, so it's incredibly lightweight. I'm gently pressing with fluffy brush because I want the softest application possible. And I always work the powder into the bristles first so it goes on smooth and even, otherwise it might overload the skin, cling to some areas more and less to others. So best is to distribute powder evenly into the bristles before setting your skin and not dump the whole load of powder all at once and age yourself for 10 years. Now, how much powder you need really depends on the concealer you're using. If you're using self-setting concealer, you might not need powder. If you applied a tiny amount of concealer like I have, you only need a tiny amount of powder to set it. If you use fuller coverage concealer or a creamier formula but heavier amount, you will naturally need a bit more powder to lock it in place. Also, brush will give you a softer setting than a puff. So there isn't one rule what works for everyone. It depends on the products you're using, how much you applied, and your also chosen setting technique. For my eyelids, I'm actually switching to my regular face powder, and the one I'm using is Makeup Forever HD powder, and I'm applying it with a puff because puff will give me a stronger set than a brush. And I want the stronger set there because eyelids tend to get oilier throughout the day. Setting them properly, including eyelashes, because you still may have some skincare trapped there. It helps to prevent mascara and eyeliner from transferring, especially if it's warm or humid. So if you find that you start turning a bit into raccoon as the day goes, your mascara transfers, even if it's waterproof, eye pencil smudges not only on your lid but also under your eyes. The reason is you did not set your creamy products with powder properly. As the day goes, you naturally produce oils that mixes with your creamy products like concealer, eye cream, or serum that are not set enough. They start moving around, rubbing into your eye makeup, and that naturally starts breaking even the most long-lasting formulas. Right, the base is done, but it looks flat without any definition or color. So we need to enhance our features by adding some soft bronze and give back that natural flash of color to our skin. Cream balmy formulas, they are the most forgiving, the most natural looking, and they will melt into your skin and blend seamlessly, creating the most absolutely flawless transition. They generally give the most natural looking result. When you're testing products and you do swatches, if it melts into your skin easily and spreads without much effort, that's exactly what you're looking for. Mind you, if you see that the formula is very sheer and glossy and your skin is more on the oily side, that's not going to work for you. That's perfect for drier skin types or those who are looking for more dewy, glowy effect. You would rather look for more satin or more matte finish of the formula, like this, for example. So they both are from Dior, but this one, if you can see, it's more matte. This one is more glossy. So obviously, if you're more on the oilier side and you want more mattifying effect, you will go for something like this. If you're looking for more glossy effect, more hydrating, more sheer, you would go for something like that. I'm using Westman Atelier contour stick in Biscuit, and I find this formula very universal, easy to blend, and the range of colors is also not too overwhelming. Now, for most natural result, you want to apply the product on the back of your hand. This way, product warms up, becomes more flexible and more blendable. Then you coat your brush bristles with a little bit and start dabbing where you need to enhance your features. Little by little, you add more of color where you need it and when you need it, dab it back and forth, and you will see how gently you bring forward your cheekbone, your forehead, your jaw. Optionally, you can add a bit of color on the sides of your nose. It's great if you have wider nose, and bring it up to your brow if you would like to give a little bit more definition to your eyes. It works beautifully if your eyes are a little bit further apart and you want to bring them closer together, but avoid adding contour to this area if your eyes are more closer together. Contouring and bronzing is helping us to balance out our facial proportions and appear the most beautiful versions of ourselves. Yes, it's gonna take a little bit of time, but you will get the most natural, beautiful sculpting without any harsh lines. You will get smooth transitions and your makeup will last longer too. And hey, if you're unsure about your blending, if there's still some transitions that are not ideal, always have a damp beauty blender on hand. Pick it up and start gently bouncing around until every transition becomes seamless. Same for blush. Cream blush will give you the most skin-like effect. Put it on your hand, coat your brush bristles with some product and gently dab. Go back and forth and watch it melt into your skin. I'm using Mineral Cream Blush Stick from Youngblood in Pink Prosecco. It's a pinky peach shade, which I find that works universally on everyone who wants a natural flush of color. This type of formula, you can't go wrong. This is buildable, very balmy, truly melts into your skin. I place my blush more on the outside of my upper cheek, on the temples, allowing color to lift my face. I add a whisper on my forehead, nose, and chin, anywhere on the highest points where I might get a little sunburn. It looks fresh and youthful. And now, if you have a longer face, keep your blush a little bit more in the center of your face. That will naturally create volume and balance out your proportion. So this is my canvas ready. I just need to make sure that it lasts as long as possible. So of course I want to set it. It could be with powder, it could be with setting spray, or with both. Even if you're using long wearing or self-setting products, I still recommend setting your makeup. It'll simply hold everything in place for longer. even if you have dry skin, you should still set your makeup. It could be just with hydrating setting spray or with finely milled powder. Gently use a formula that is hydrating, also with hydrating setting spray on top. That will revive your skin and melt those powders. If your skin is oily, of course, you should choose powder formula that is oil controlling. The powder you choose should really depend on your skin type and what result you are looking for to achieve. I have combo skin, so I'm using Makeup Forever HD Skin in medium neutral because for me, it's a really nice, happy medium. It gives me enough longevity without making my skin looking too matte or too heavy. So I start by applying it with a flat powder brush because it allows me to press the powder into my skin, and it gives me a lot more precise and stronger setting than a big fluffy round brush would. Just like before, I work the powder into the bristles first, making sure that it distributes the product evenly. Now, my T-zone is a little bit different. I have more visible pores there, I get shinier throughout the day, and I know that's the area that needs more blurring and stronger setting. So for my T-zone, I'm switching to a powder puff. I work the powder into the puff first and then press it anywhere where I want a bit more blurring, a little bit more longevity, and a stronger hold. So yes, this step is completely optional. If your skin isn't oily, you won't need it. But if you know that your T-zone tends to get shiny or your makeup starts breaking apart there first, this little extra step can really make a difference. You can even use a slightly stronger powder just for the T-zone or wherever your makeup tends to break apart, or a little baby big just in that area if that's what your skin needs. One thing that I do want to mention, if you're searching for the perfect powder or the perfect setting spray that's going to make your makeup completely budge-proof from morning until night throughout the heat, rain, and busy days, that's a myth. It simply doesn't exist. We are living, breathing humans. Our skin moves, we produce oils, we touch our faces, the weather changes. All of those things gradually break down makeup. That's completely normal. The goal isn't to expect your makeup to look exactly the same 8 or 10 hours later. The goal is to give it the best chance of lasting well and then simply do little touch-ups throughout the day when needed. Honestly, that's what's going to keep your makeup looking fresh all day long. When you see claims like 24-hour wear, remember those results come from standardized wear tests carried out under specific testing conditions. Real life is never quite the same. Everyone's skin behaves differently. Okay, now it's the final touches part. If you need more color, add some powder blush or powder bronzer. Pre-blend your powder into your hand before you touch your face. Last thing you want after all this hard work to get powdery colored patches. And finally, finish with setting spray. You can use also hydrating spray depending on what your skin needs are. So that's my longer wearing, more polished routine. It does take a little bit more time, but the payoff is longevity and makeup that looks natural and comfortable throughout the day. Now, let's do the quicker version. This is great whenever you're on the go. Maybe it's not going to be as polished as the previous version, but you will still look great. And most importantly, you will save time. Instead of foundation, I'm going for a skin tint. Tinted moisturizer, CC cream, or BB cream works just as well. I'm using the Typology skin tint in light neutral, and just like before, I'm working from the back of my hand and I'm using a foundation brush. Personally, I prefer a brush because I find it gives me a much quicker and more even finish than fingers. The nice thing about skin tints is that you don't have to spend time blending or worrying about patchiness or unevenness. They're much more forgiving, the coverage is sheer, and because they're like tinted skincare formulas, they naturally melt into the skin very, very easily. One thing I don't do is bring my skin tint onto my eyelids because it's too moisturizing and it will crease. Sometimes I am happy enough to use it under my eyes, but if I want more longevity, I choose to put concealer there instead. Today I went for Dior Backstage Concealer in Warmth Neutral with actually a full coverage concealer, but I want to achieve the most natural result possible. To do that, I put a small amount at the back of my hand, then I use a small damp beauty blender to apply it. I like to rehydrate the sponge with setting spray. That helps me to share out the concealer, to set it for longer wear, and it also will reduce chances of creasing, also from looking dry. Then I gently tap under my eyes and whatever is left goes on my eyelids. With whatever is left on the sponge, I just bounce it around anywhere where I want a little bit more coverage, around the nose where I have more visible pores, a little bit on the chin or center of my forehead. Now that my complexion is evened out, I want to make sure I lock everything in so it stays put, doesn't move around or crease anywhere. I'm using my Makeup Forever HD powder again. This time I'm taking a large tapered powder brush, and as always, I work the powder well into the bristles first and then gently tap all over my face to preset everything. I just want a really light veil of powder to take away any tackiness, so when I go in with the puff, powder doesn't cling in patches, and when it's preset, it goes nice and smooth. Once it's preset, I switch to my powder puff because there are certain areas where I simply need a stronger hold and give my base more longevity. As usual, I pre-blend the powder into my puff first and only then start pressing into the areas where I need strongest hold and pore blurring. With whatever is left of the puff, I press under my eyes, avoiding to go too close to the lash line. I simply repeat the same idea around the rest of my face. Every time I pick up fresh powder, it goes onto the areas that need most longevity first. And with whatever's left on the puff, I just press onto the rest of the face where less powder is needed. Okay, my face looks very flat now, so I can start bringing some warmth back into the face. For this routine, I switched to a powder bronzer. It's a bit of a shortcut. I'm using Dior Forever Nude Bronze in shade 04 and applying it with the larger side of my Makeup by Mario F2 brush. As always, I'm picking up some product, pre-blend into my hand so it goes on evenly, and then I start gently tapping wherever I want a little bit of warmth and soft definition. A little across the cheekbones, around the forehead, under the jawline, and whatever is left on the brush goes onto the sides of my nose, over the lids, a little bit onto my neck, just so everything ties together nicely. For blush, I'm switching to the smaller side of the same brush. I picked up Dior blush in Crease. It has a really nice soft satin finish, so I get a little bit of color and at the same time a bit of natural glow. Notice that I pre-blend the powder into my palm before applying, and it goes on very airy. I can easily build up the color if I want, or I can keep it really soft and natural. To finish everything off, I'm mixing a generous amount of hydrating setting spray. This one is from Tir Tir, great option for everyday use. It takes away any powdery look, melts all the layers, and brings the skin back to life. If at any point your makeup looks a little dry or powdery, don't panic. Very often, a good hydrating setting spray is all you need for everything to become beautiful skin-like finish. So for some people on the go, that would be it. But if you have a spare 1 minute, grab a bronzing balm. I'm taking the Skin Enhancing Bronzing Balm from Makeup by Mario in medium. With the same foundation brush, I pick up a small amount and dab on the areas where I applied powder bronzer. Skin literally becomes even more alive, more dimensional, and since there's powder underneath, it gives balm a bit of a grip. It stays put and it doesn't move around. If you want a bit of more lively color and glow, pick up a balmy blush. I'm using the Dior blush stick in color Candy and press on your skin where you want to enhance the color and glow. Use only a small amount. It will grip beautifully on top of that powder underneath. Those couple of finishing touches will simply transform your on-the-go routine. It's easy and speedy. So really there isn't one right way of doing your makeup. They're just different techniques that get you to a very similar result. One is a little bit more polished and longer wearing. The other one saves you time and still gives you that you but better fresh complexion. Hopefully seeing them side by side helps you decide which one fits you and your skin better. Enjoy the summer and I'll see you in the next one.